Romie here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is Real Housewives Season 9, Episode 5, Shade Grenade. I was like, Shade Grenade? I was like, oh, this is when that happened. Yep. And it starts off with Phaedra. Phaedra is talking with Congresswoman Wilson, and she invites Porsha over because, and I do love Porsha and Phaedra's relationship just because it's all lighthearted and fun, but I do kind of miss Phaedra and Candy. That was a different dynamic, but Phaedra invites Porsha over because she wants Porsha to accompany her to Philadelphia, so that, because again there was another shooting, and I'm thinking, was this the Philando Castile one, or exactly one? There's so, yeah, but Porsha and Phaedra, just yucking it up. And Porsha's just like, I'm on the dating scene, doing my thing, and we need to go and get you out as well. But she was like, that's all well and good. I actually need to speak to you about Congresswoman Wilson. So it's like, oh, the one with the hat. Yes, the one with the hat. And I'm going to Philadelphia because we're going to go and do this summit, this Black Summit, and I want you to come. And of course, Porsha's just like, of course I'm there. Hello, you remember who my grandfather was? We all remember. We all remember Porsha. And so Porsha's coming along, and then afterwards, Phaedra is going to visit Apollo, and Porsha wants to be, Phaedra wants Porsha's support. Of course, Porsha's like, of course. I'm thinking, for some reason, I don't think this is going to happen, but okay, we'll see how this goes. Kenyon wants to go and do something special for Matt's birthday. And she's like, I want to get Matt replace his Gucci belt because he lost his Gucci belt, and I want to make him a Gucci cake. And it's like, okay, that's cute. So she invites Cynthia. And while this is going on, Cynthia right now is looking at her whole housing situation. She has, beautiful, big, puffy hair. And that's all Kenya's looking at when she's talking to Cynthia. And Kenya's happy that Matt's family seems to accept her. Now she's just doing this couples RVing thing, and Cynthia doesn't have anyone right now, significant other, so Kenya didn't even think to invite Cynthia, and Cynthia's just like, okay, so we actually supposed to be friends, and you inviting Candy and all them right in front of me, and yet, what about me? I'm thinking, Cynthia, it's alright. It really is alright, because look at it this way. Remember when you were in Jamaica and you did the whole, she's my friend. She's not my friend. Yeah, I'm sure this is a little subconscious stir right in the gut. And Kenya's just like, I'm just impressed that Candy is the only one who's actually in a successful relationship right now. And then Kenya was also talking about Sheree and how Sheree was doing, that was supposed to be my impression, the stuttering, that when Sheree was trying to go at Kenya and she was just kind of stutter and stumble. That, exactly. Now, talking about Sheree is actually gone to her son. Well, he's outside playing, and Sheree was like, where's the bug spray? Where's the sunscreen? Because I'm lying to your butt, so I actually need that. Anyway, I talked back to you something very important. Why did I get a call from the police department regarding you? You? Your father? Yeah, I can see that coming. You? I never expected you. You never do anything. And then you go off to college, and now you go off to college. And the moment you go off to school, I had to deal with this? Drugs, really? And she was like, okay, so what actually happened? Because I know this could be some BS. So what actually happened? He goes and tells her, I was smoking with some friends, and I got pulled over because my tags were expired. It had nothing to do with me swerving or barely being under the influence, because I smoked earlier in the day, which obviously, anything you do, pill, whatever, it's still traceable in your system, whether the effects are there or not. So they pulled him over, and clearly they probably did a test, and he got out, but I don't know if there's going to be any type of court situation afterwards. Sheree's pissed because she's like, I don't know you to be doing anything. So the fact of the matter is that you go off to school, you start hanging around with a new bunch of people, and because you're hanging around with a new bunch of people, now I have to worry about my son not being a drug addict or anything like that. That's not what she's worried about. It's just like making dumb decisions or forgetting the fact that, you know, you're black, right? You know that you're black and you can't get away with doing certain things or being a part of certain things that maybe some of the people around you could be. And I'm thinking, okay, he's going to a black school, so if he's getting in trouble, they all get in trouble unless they have bigger connections than Sheree does, which is possible. So she's like, remember, the reason why I took you to that summit last year, to the marching and all that, was so that you could see that, unfortunately, you don't have the same playing field as not necessarily everyone else, but a lot of other people, especially here. So I need for you to do better. Candy is over the fact that, because Todd's really the front runner with the restaurant, and it's not done yet. She's just like, okay, so I came in here and you're still as dusty as ever. You could at least make it less dusty. You really brought me back to this dusty. Guess who comes? Peter. Peter comes around, and I was like, oh, okay. Peter's just like, oh, this is great. So you get into restaurant business too. You know, I have, you know, bar one, sports one, movie one. It's all in the one. It's all in the one. And this is really big. It's like, yeah, it's supposed to accommodate 200 people. We're supposed to accommodate 200 people. Did you actually, I'm looking around like, where's the kitchen? Because can your kitchen accommodate 200? Comes to the kitchen. Oh, okay. Damn, you actually did your research. All right. I was like, oh, and downstairs you can go and have day party. It's like, duh, I am not stupid. I know what I'm doing regardless of what people think or not. But, of course, Peter goes and lets it be known his situation. Because Todd steers the conversation to Apollo. It's like, yeah, Apollo's cool and all. I talked to him actually a couple of times. What was it? A couple of times a month or something like that. He talks to Apollo relatively frequently. And it was like, forget Apollo though. It's interesting how you're like the last relationship in our group standing. It really is. And it's like, yeah, because you and Cynthia, I thought you would have been good. It's like, here's the thing. Cynthia didn't really want to be in the relationship the way that I wanted to be. Cynthia wasn't going to fight for it the way that I fought for it. And, you know, I will say this. I'm sure that's true because I didn't see Cynthia. I don't really see Cynthia wanting to be in the relationship at all. I see her wanting to have male friends, some drive-bys, but not a full-on relationship. I don't really see that for her. Except for with Leon. We all see that for her with Leon. Like, Cynthia needs to stop playing around because I know it's her. She needs to just make that happen. Because Peter is just like, look, it's hard. It is hard. I'm trying to do my thing. She wants to be friends. He didn't say that, but he didn't need to say that because we remember that. And it just is what it is. Just have to move forward. But shout out to you guys. Going to go leave you alone because I know you got a lot of work to do. Cynthia, on the other hand, is house shopping with Noelle, and it's a 6-bedroom house. Just looks like 3 bedrooms for me, 3 for Noelle. I'm thinking, so are you going to demolish the bedrooms or something? Because why is no, like, I get it, because you're saying it's both of your house, so you take one side, you take the other, and, be happy. Noelle's like, this is nice, an outdoor shower. I'm thinking, Noelle, why do you care about an outdoor shower? Stop playing around, you're 16. But, it's like, oh, and this is great for selfies, and I'm good. This is nice. So when are we going to do an offer? We are ready to make an offer. She said, are you Candy? Unless you're going to buy your mother a house. That's not going to happen right now. Because she said, the realtor said, we knocked off $50,000 off the house. That's great. So how much is it? Oh, now it's just $950,000. Candy said, we're going to need to knock off like $300,000 off of that. I mean, the house is beautiful. It is, the lake is, it really is their backyard. That's the lake, essentially. And it is done very nice. I'm like, this is around the size of Kenya's house. And yet, this is around the size of Kenya's house. And I know with the renovations that Kenya did, Kenya's house is really nice. But I'm like, I want to move into Cynthia's house. You know, Chateau Sheree, look, we love it, but the reality is, in order to furnish that thing, that's going to cost a grip. And we know Sheree doesn't have the money like that. Shout out to Sheree for being able to do what she's done as so far. But what I will say for Sheree is, Sheree what she should actually do is rent out the house, Airbnb that house. Because you could get rich people, it doesn't have to be celebrities. Get rich people in there, charge them a boatload of money, tell them to bring their own. I don't understand. Get you a couple of bags out of this. I guess this will be for your kids, but you need to be able to pay for that. And the easiest way is let people who are like, oh, this is Chateau Sheree, oh, this is beautiful. And make sure that if they break anything, that damage is fine. It's so massive. You could go and furnish that damn house like that without having it come out of your pocket. But that's how I would do it. Of course, Phaedra is coming down, and it was the, like I said, the Black Caucus. And I was like, wow, this is the Black Caucus. This is Black excellence at its finest. At its finest. And it was really nice to see Phaedra and Porsha there. And they had, I'm sure they had like a camera guy there. Because, I mean, the video was too nice. So I'm sure they had a camera guy there. And he was just taking video of the whole event. I'm like, I really appreciate this side. Because all of the shows that have black audiences, I will say in 2016, became extremely woke. So, shout out to, if nothing else, for 2016, for black television to actually talk about black issues. I mean, really, make it at the forefront to the point where you can't just ignore it. Now, back at home, Sheree has brought in Bob because she just was like, you know, I'm not a man. I can't do a man's job. I try to be mom and dad, but, you know, I can only really be mom. I need dad to come in and enforce things. I'm not a man. I'm like, Sheree, we know you're not a man. We get it. We look at you. We know you're not a man. We know those kids are yours. We know you're not a man. We know that the trolls kind of joke around. It's like, we know you're not a man. Stop it. So Phaedra has this panel discussion. The panel discussion also includes, Judge Mavis, and even, Giselle's ex-husband. I was just like, oh wow, so this is an official panel. This really is some movers and shakers here. I believe some people from President Obama's office. So it's like, this is great. And Trayvon Martin's brother, I'm assuming older brother, Trayvon Martin's brother, and he's been working with the Congresswoman, and he's just like, you know, we need to get these semi-automatic machines off the street. Now here's my thing. I don't disagree. I don't understand how so many people have access to a semi-automatic anything. Because that makes no sense to me. How are you giving people military grade weapons? That's something I'll never understand. I understand the First Amendment, but then again, that's when, you know, there wasn't a power grid, and there were actually lions, tigers, and bears around a lot of people's homes and domiciles. So, anyway, Sheree wants Bob to speak to his son. I mean, Sheree wants, Bob to speak to her son. I got a little confused. That was weird phrasing. That's a weird phrase. But Bob is just like, you know, about the marijuana. I actually got myself a medical card, and so I don't have an issue with, you know, doing marijuana or you do marijuana, because here's the thing. Bob does it too. Bob is like, instead of me getting hopped up on pills, I'm gonna go and smoke a little ganja. I'm just like, that is the most logical thing I've heard Bob say in a while. Because that's the thing. I don't have a problem with people doing marijuana, especially if they actually have a need for it, because Bob did sports, so he definitely needs something to help with the pain sometimes. But, and I'm glad Bob said that, because I'm like, Bob, well, is yours laced? Because Bob sweats a lot, and I'm assuming that's because of the weight. We all just assume, Lord, he's hopped up on something. Not necessarily that he was acting like he was, but you know what I'm trying to say. But Bob said, because Sheree's just like, wait a minute, why did you cheat on his son? She had that look, which is like, I'm going to see where this goes, or else I'm going to have to slug him in the face. And then Bob's like, here's how this goes, though. You doing drugs around those people that are so-called your friends, no, that has to stop right now, because those people don't have your best interest at heart. You are the one that's going to get in trouble, not them. I don't care what they offer you. If they offer you some lean, if they offer you some Spanish fly, if they offer you whatever, some some angel dust, white magic, do not do it. Do not do it. Pass it along. Because I know you're not going to leave, so just pass it along. You don't have to do it. You can be around people and let them do what they do and not let it affect you. And, you know, I do appreciate that, because that is real. You know, most parents would say, oh, just go and leave, and that's what I would do. Well, actually, I wouldn't be there, period, because I would know. But if you're going to be in that type of field and environment, you're going to have to understand that that's something that may happen sooner rather than later. So the best way to be equipped is, it takes a strong person to be around a lot of people doing something, and they're like, yeah, no, they're not going to go and be involved with that mob mentality and just go along with it. Now, Phaedra's to this point because Porsha has to leave. Porsha has to leave because she has to record Dish. So, because I'm thinking, Porsha, you knew this, so what? Anyway. Anyway. But she came for the most important part. But Phaedra's just like, you know, I actually only invited you because I wanted you to come with me to go and visit Apollo. Since this whole divorce thing is going through, it's just changing the dynamics of our relationship. Now, Candy is dealing with Todd. Todd hasn't washed in a couple of days because, oh, Ace is so cute. Because he's trying to get the business in order. Mama Joyce comes over and it's just like, oh, hey, Todd, I'm going to take the baby. And they're just like, what do you mean you're going to take the baby? They're like, wait, really? Are you sure? And I'm telling you, I told you guys that Mama Joyce wanted herself a grandson. I told you, because Mama Joyce is doing a lot more that she did for Ace than she did for Riley. And let's be honest, that is part of it. It has nothing to do with who she loves more, because I know it's equal. So that's not the issue. But there is a thing about women and their like moms and their sons and their grandsons. It's just a different dynamic. It just is. It just is. Just like how normally grandfathers, you know, cater a little bit more to their granddaughters. It's just how it is. But Mama Joyce, why did it take Mama Joyce to set up a date night for Candy and Todd? Do you see how far things have come? Because now Mama Joyce did throw her a little shade where she was just like, oh, I know Candy's been working hard. I'm like, oh God, here we go. But then again, she set up the date night. It's just like, oh, you did this? She had the handcuffs and everything. I'm like, oh my God, is this really happening right now? No, 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 no. So Kenya is on the phone and she's speaking with, I think, Cynthia. And she lets it be known that she's having issues with Matt. She's having issues with Matt because Matt is on his whole thing of, well, because Cynthia talked about her independence and she's just like making lemonade out of lemons. And of course, Kenya's just like, yeah, Beyonce reference. Was like, okay, so Lemonade already came out this time, thank you. So we know it's probably the Philando cast still shooting and things like that. But why was it that Kenya goes and let me know that Matt again had his little anger fits? I'm looking at Matt like, Kenya, so you're mad at Porsha when Matt is the one that's going and knocking down walls and shaking the table, but she's just like, oh, well, he went down to his parents, he left, and for his birthday, so it is what it is. And I'm looking at Kenya like, Kenya, you're around an immature man who got upset because you posted a picture of you being in the video, you know, being the main video woman in Jay-Z's music video. And he has some emotional outbursts, and he's a lot bigger and strong. I'll stop talking. So Candy goes and she puts on lingerie, and Mom Joyce is like, I'm gonna have to borrow that from you, girl. I'm like, oh, Mom Joyce, you have a man? You got a man? Is that why you happy? You got a man? Now, normally that would be offensive, but this is Mama Joyce we're talking about, so you understand where I'm coming from with that. And I'm like, I don't want to see Todd and Candy have any type of marital bliss. And of course they go and, the cameras are still rolling, so they need to talk about how they're the last one standing, and it's like all of their friends and relationships around the 5-year mark, it was gone. So Candy is just like, I need to do whatever I need to make sure that doesn't happen to us. Now we're at the whole couples thing, and who's that then? They instantly, all the couples realize something's off there. Something is off there. Lena isn't feeling well, so she's not going to go and do it. And I'm looking at her like, so is this why you weren't on the show? Because you're really not part. And how her fiance, RL, who, if he looks familiar, it's because he was from the R&B group Next. Yeah. And, they're doing the, what was it called? The ATV. And it was cool enough. Kenya almost flipped over once RL started to drive, so that was something. And RL, I forgot what it was, but it was like I think a Destiny's Child lyric that he caught Candy kind of saying, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. So they get past that and they talk about the whole relationship stuff that's going on. Because Kenya's just like, alright, I'm going to break the ice. Where is your man, Kenya? Because we are not stupid. We know that something's not right. Why is he not here? And of course, Kenya's just like, well, he went to be with his family instead of come be here. It's just like, yeah, for his birthday, it doesn't make any sense. Well, we got into a little argument. It is what it is. It's hard. Can't all be in thriving like you guys. And it's like, yeah, shout out to you guys. Now, this is where, so this makes sense. So we were trying to figure out why they think it was a bomb threat. Phaedra did not know anything. She got a call from the people at her office, and they told her that this man is threatening to blow up the office. He has a bomb. He has a grenade. You know what it was? He was saying, I'm going to blow up her spot and expose her in her office for what's been going on. It wasn't, I'm going to blow this place up sky high. And no, so it wasn't Phaedra, but Phaedra, she was terrified because she's like, this guy is saying, and from her management team, they're actually saying, oh, this guy is really trying to blow up this place. We don't know what to do. And so Phaedra's calling her mom, making sure the kids are okay. Her mom prayed for her because Phaedra's crying because she's just like, I can't believe this is happening to me. She doesn't know if the guys, because it's like, it sounds personal, so he may try to come to the house. She doesn't know if he knows where her new house is. So it's hard. It's hard, it's difficult, it is what it is. And Candy's just talking about, yeah, I just got this notification, guys, that it was Carmen. Carmen let me know that there's a guy trying to blow up Phaedra's office. And, they all started to giggle. Well, not Kenya, but Todd was giggling like, what? It's like, no, the guy came in, this is for real, with a bomb threat. He said he's going to blow up this whole place blow up this whole place. This is real. This is like, oh, it's like, I hope she's okay. I hope her kids are safe. Like, this is crazy because people are crazy nowadays. Well, they've always been crazy, but especially now more than ever, and you never know. So Phaedra's just over it. She gets a call from Apollo because she's right outside because she told Apollo what's going on. It's like, oh, I hope everything's cool. So you coming in, right? The kids are good. Yeah, I have them with my mom. So like, okay, they're good. So you coming in, right? I'm like, what? Well, she's right there. So they need to do what they need to do. So it is what it is. So next episode, they're going to talk about it a little bit more. And Mama Joyce is going to be as messy as ever. Please like, comment, subscribe. I hope they're paying Mama Joyce good money because she's pulling the show right now.